If you were to ask Wall Street today which is the most peculiar company in the world, the answer would undoubtedly be Tesla. In business history, it is almost impossible to find another example as absurd, a company whose core operations are collapsing yet its market value has soared to yuan trillion. For Tesla, Liaotianlin Wu was supposed to be a disaster year, marking its first gen ever annual revenue decline with a drop to 9.48 yuan billion. Even more alarming is that amidst the brutal price war in the electric vehicle sector, net profits for the entire year plummeted from 10 yuan billion to just 10 yuan billion. If this were any ordinary automaker, the script would be straightforward, plummeting stock prices and institutional investors fleeing. But reality paints a different picture. Following the release of these dire financial results, not only did Tesla's stock price remain stable, but it surged, reaching a market value of over yuan trillion in just a few months. Even Scoopta Capital, one of Wall Street's most ruthless institutions, poured an additional yuan lion into Tesla's shares. This raises an incredibly absurd question: why is the company more valuable despite its declining profitability? The answer lies solely in Wall Street's complete redefinition of Tesla. They no longer view it as a mere automaker. Relying purely on vehicle sales would make a price-gen-to-gen earnings ratio close to Senbai one of the wildest bubbles in financial history. In this episode, we will not delve into how Tesla manufactures vehicles to tell an even more astonishing story, how Musk covertly transformed a car company into a trillion-yen AI empire. But to understand this empire, we must first address one question: what is Tesla truly afraid of? Why did Musk risk everything on AI rather than cling to his automotive domain? The answer lies within the most brutal chapter in Tesla's history. To comprehend why Tesla decided to undergo such drastic transformation by Liaotianlin Wu, we need to delve into its core. This company was never nurtured in a safe environment. Each of its transformations was born out of near-death experiences. Let's rewind back to Liaotianlin Bawensaoshi, and the first Roadster models struggled immensely on the market. Musk had gambled everything he got from selling PayPal, and only narrowly secured life-gen saving funds as bankruptcy loomed. A decade later, in Liaotianlin Yishiba, death came knocking again. In a bid to push Model Sen into mainstream markets, Tesla took unprecedented risks. They even set up tent production lines on factory grounds. This period was one of extreme mental strain. Musk's manic state led him to tweet over SBI times monthly, eventually drawing the attention of the US Securities and Exchange Commission for a massive investigation. These two brushes with death have left indelible scars on the management team. They know better than anyone that relying solely on heavy asset, gen-intensive and long-gen cycle automotive manufacturing, error rate is virtually zero, a dance on the edge of a knife. By late Liaotianlin Wu, what was once an endless blue ocean market had transformed into a cold and merciless Red Sea meat grinder. Those century-gen-old traditional automakers who once vowed to crush Tesla now lie on the operating table, hemorrhaging blood profusely. Consider Ford, the storied automaker, which reported in the fourth quarter of Liaotianlin Wu its worst financial performance since the Liaotianlin Ba financial crisis, with a staggering quarterly loss of yuan billion. The once gen-proud electric vehicle division had become a cash drain, forcing it to write down over yuan billion in asset impairments and painfully abandon new car strategies. General Motors faced similar despair, desperately struggling in the mire and pouring yuan billion into restructuring efforts, resulting in a quarterly loss of yuan billion. Across the ocean, Chinese giant BYD sold Yingli Lion vehicles in Liaotianlin Arshisi, generating revenue exceeding yuan billion. Yet, even amidst this success, it couldn't escape the ultimate curse of hardware profitability. Despite pushing vertical integration to unprecedented human limits, its operating margin for that year was only around 6%. After Tesla's frenzied price cuts, its profit margin also fell to 7%. These two companies are among the very few in the world capable of consistently turning a profit in pure electric vehicle manufacturing. However, the ceiling is clearly visible. This is what's most demoralizing. No matter how extreme your factory operations become, or how ruthlessly you squeeze the supply chain, you can never overcome the physical costs of steel, aluminum, and battery materials. Continuing to cling to the identity of a car manufacturer, Tesla would ultimately become just another mediocre industrial giant. To achieve its trillion-dollar ambitions, Tesla must break free from this relentless hardware grind and seek out an ultimate gravitational field where profit can explode exponentially without physical boundaries. This gravitational field was quietly planted in Musk's backyard long ago. While everyone is fixated on how many fewer cars Tesla sold this month, a true superprinting press has been humming silently in the background. As the world watches Tesla's vehicle sales slide and sees its core business shrink by 20% to 69.5 yuan billion by 2025, most overlook an incredibly alarming detail. Within Tesla, a profit monster is expanding at an exponential rate. It once played only a minor role in Musk's environmental narrative, even considered insignificant by auto analysts, but during the fierce competition of 2025, it executed a spectacular covert maneuver. Tesla Energy. Peeling back the facade of the financial reports, Tesla Energy's revenue skyrocketed by 20% to a record breaking 12.3 yuan billion in 2025, while the core automotive business struggled. What's even more chilling than its revenue surge is its cash machine like profitability. The full year gross margin reached an alarming 5% nearing or even surpassing the decades long cultivated auto business. By the end of the fourth quarter, the gross margin surged to an astounding 5%, raking in 1.5 yuan billion in a single quarter, with total installed capacity for the year reaching 46.6 GWG. Up a staggering 5% year-over-year. This is not financial window dressing, it's a structural explosion. At the heart of this explosion stands a new super cash cow replacing the Model Y Fadi, the Megapack. Unlike conventional vehicles that are vulnerable to economic cycles, the Megapack serves utility companies and national grids, an extremely rigid market segment. While traditional automakers bicker over hundreds of dollars in price cuts, Tesla is quietly reshaping national power grids worldwide. For example, the Eden-GW Wood-Fiji project initiated in the Netherlands alone involves deploying SenCR, megapacks capable of supplying power to tens of thousands of households during emergencies. This substantial and stable cash flow has built an impregnable defense line for Tesla. The company projects that it will confirm nearly 1 yuan billion in revenue from energy storage projects by 2025, representing a bottomless pool of profitability. Even Musk's own AI venture Zai invested RMB 10 billion in megapacks to ensure power supply for its supercomputer, a behemoth of computational might. However, if you think Tesla is merely selling large metal battery containers, you've grossly underestimated the ambition behind this digital alchemy. Infusing life into these cold batteries and ruthlessly extracting excess profits is an AI software platform called Autobeta. With the support of Autobeta, each megapack has become a high-gen frequency trader in the electricity wholesale market, preying voraciously. They use predictive algorithms to soak up electricity during low-gen price periods and instantly sell it at premium prices when voltage loads spike and prices soar, just minutes later, earning substantial margins. During the summer of 2025, Texas was hit by a brutal heat wave, pushing the state's power grid to the brink. Tesla utilized Autobeta to integrate thousands of residential energy storage devices across the state into a massive virtual power plant, releasing up to 5% of their stored electricity at peak demand moments. This not only saved the Texas power grid, but also generated an aggregate economic return of €1 for participating Tesla customers. Autobeta has embraced the perfect commercial model. As software, its replication cost is virtually zero. Tesla provides the platform and takes a cut from transaction profits, creating pure profit without physical barriers. While traditional giants still peddle heavy metal gen-bodied cars, Tesla has woven hundreds of thousands of energy storage nodes into a vast trading network, positioning itself at the center to become the ultimate operating system for decarbonized grids. However, controlling the grid is just the first step. Next, Musk will bring his scythe to every ordinary car owner who has purchased, or even has yet to purchase a Tesla. Prepare to witness an all-gen encompassing ultimate harvest. If the energy business is the steel foundation that withstands economic downturns, then Tesla's services and other segments are a tightening noose on users' throats. In the harsh winter of 2022, when profits from the core automotive sector drastically shrank, this previously unremarkable segment contributed approximately 10.0 in gross profit against market trends. This is thanks to two highly dominant weapons, the supercharger network and Tesla insurance. Let's look at this textbook Gen perfect campaign strategy. First, previously building charging stations was considered a heavy asset burden with little return. However, Tesla keenly transformed it into an ultimate revenue generating weapon that could strangle its competitors by opening up the North American charging standard, NACS. Tesla mercilessly dismantled the industry's defenses, and the numbers are shocking. In the United States, Tesla has densely deployed 10,000 supercharger stations, with a staggering 10,000 faster charging ports, swallowing an absolute monopoly share of 50% of the entire national faster charging network. This monopoly is rapidly turning into ruthless commercial reaping. By early 2022, as the fourth-gen largest global automotive group Stellantis officially adopts the NACS standard across the board, the outcome of this battle has become entirely predictable. Automakers like Ford, General Motors, and Rivian are essentially feeding Tesla with high-gen frequency, loyal users each time they sell an electric vehicle. In the second quarter of 2022, Tesla's supercharging business saw a staggering 50% sequential profit surge, transforming into the ultimate toll station for global electric mobility. All competitors unwittingly contribute to this success. While the supercharger network is an overtly visible web, Tesla insurance operates as a Trojan horse, subtly ingrained in users' daily lives. Traditional actuaries view Tesla's insurance financials as catastrophic. In California and Illinois, despite premium revenues skyrocketing to 7.2亿，net underwriting losses amounted to 1.886亿。With a staggering 92.5% per UT ratio, meaning for every dollar collected in premiums, nearly 0.95 is paid out in claims. Not only does Tesla insurance lose money, but it also faces backlash from customers. By early 2022, California drivers woke up to find their 6th-gen month premiums had doubled without warning, from 208 per month to 417, despite no incidents occurring. Despite the financial black hole and public outcry, why does Musk persist with this business? The answer lies in cold, calculated data. Tesla insurance is not a traditional risk management tool and a pervasive data harvester. Traditional insurance relies on guesses based on age and zip code to estimate accident rates, while Tesla utilizes its proprietary safety scoring system. By 2022, this system had ingested over 22 billion miles of real driving data. Through sensors 遍布车身，它监视你的超速比例及刹车频率，甚至跟车距离。这种做法极其阴险。首先，它将保费与安全评分挂钩，用金钱作为鞭策手段，迫使你按照系统的规则驾驶，从根本上降低了整个车队的事故概率。更重要的是，通过理赔流程，特斯拉获得了所有极端碰撞案例的真实底层数据，这些数据不断送回超算中心，成为培养全自动驾驶 AI 的最佳养料。华尔街非常清楚，92.5%的赔付率仅仅是特斯拉获取垄断级真实路况数据所付出的廉价试错成本。一旦越过盈亏平衡点，凭借车机自身的零边际成本，这将成为一台拥有指数级吸金能力的浮存金生成器。这就好比给巴菲特那只下金蛋的鹅装上了全天候监控探头和 AI 大脑，对所有传统对手实施了毁灭性的打击。但这只是物理和生态层面的欺诈。真正让华尔街顶级掠食者为之疯狂，并撑起万亿市值的，其实是一项每月只需支付$99的小生意。如果说能源和服务业务是特斯拉抗风险的基础，then by 2026 the ultimate pivot point for its stock price to surge against the odds amidst a plunge in automotive gross margins lies in one transformative shift. Tesla is undergoing an earth-shattering metamorphosis from a mere automobile manufacturer into a SaaS empire that wields dominion over interconnected computational power. This revolution was ignited in February 2021. Tesla took an unexpected move, completely discontinuing the outright purchase model for full self-gen driving, FSD, converting what was once a system sold for tens of thousands of dollars into a pure subscription service at $9 per month. While regular consumers might see this as just another promotional discount, Wall Street's elite predators viewed it as an invaluable business marvel. The buyout model offered one-time revenues that could easily be obscured in financial reports. However, the $9 monthly fee transformed FSD into a tireless cash cow, generating pure software Gen service revenue streams. As early as Q4 Tesla's official website revealed that active subscribers of FSD had surged past the 1 million mark, with an astounding year-over-year growth rate of 500%. Year-gen round monthly subscriptions more than doubled. Financial institutions have even projected that achieving a conversion rate of 500% by the end of Arling could yield over $1 billion in high-gen margin software revenue, annually, a feat akin to plucking money from thin air. It's important to note that the marginal cost for distributing software is virtually zero. Once the research and development barrier has been crossed, gross profit margins can reach an astounding 500% or more. The sheer value of these billions in net profits may far exceed the proceeds from selling several million cars caught up in price wars. Underpinning the SaaS empire's voracious accumulation of wealth is a fundamental qualitative leap in technology. On February 18, Tesla released FSD VIC, completely abandoning traditional hard-gen-coded rules and adopting an arduous end-to-end neural network approach. Data shows its remarkable adaptability to complex urban driving conditions, with the average distance driven before intervention increasing by a staggering 500%. In response to the California DMV's stringent regulatory pressure, Tesla also executed a clever shell game, quietly renaming their FSD computers as AI computers and rebranding autonomous navigation as more neutral automatic steering guidance. Effectively sidestepping legal entanglements. Through these maneuvers, millions of paying owners worldwide are not only contributing monthly rent to Tesla but also serving as unpaid data collectors. Every time they take the wheel, they feed into this perpetually evolving artificial intelligence brain. However, end-to-end neural networks consume computational power like a bottomless pit. To support this ambition, Musk has poured substantial investment into building an actual physical behemoth, the Cortex Gen AI supercomputer cluster, north of the Texas Gigafactory. Entering Arling, the unprecedented race for computational power in human history has reached a fever pitch. Phase 2 of the Cortex for Ardenlin data center will launch its initial Wushimi gigawatt compute node in April, with projections to reach an unprecedented total capacity of 1 megawatts by mid-year. Within this computational void, approximately Yaolin of the world's most advanced NVIDIA Yaolin and Arling accelerator cards are densely deployed. To fuel this behemoth, Tesla has allocated over $1 billion in astronomical capital expenditures for Arling entirely funded by its robust cash flow. Its relentless operation is not only accelerating FSD iterations, but also providing ultimate training for physical Gen world perception in humanoid robots. What is even more chilling? Tesla's dominance in computational power is now breaking into civilian and commercial boundaries. In the first quarter of Arling, Tesla invested approximately $1 billion in XI, another AI unicorn under Musk's umbrella. This not only integrates XI's large models seamlessly into Tesla's vehicle systems, but also establishes a deep collaborative agreement on underlying AI frameworks between both parties. The fusion of AI from the digital world with robots in the physical realm is becoming terrifyingly intertwined. In the same year, Xi developed its Glock CS Ares advanced reasoning model and secured a strategic contract with the US Department of Defense, integrating into highly classified military networks to enhance combat situational awareness for American forces. Through this covert relationship, Tesla's AI technology, which originally roamed the streets, has quietly extended its reach into the highest echelons of global national security and military information networks. This is no longer just a car company's grand vision, but rather the dawn of a computational power conglomerate that holds the keys to the interconnected world. With computational power now deified, it is time for Tesla's old automotive skin to be ruthlessly shed from the mortal plane. Next on the agenda, Tesla will bury the century-gen-old assembly line left behind by Henry Ford in its own gigafactories. If Tesla's primary mission before Arlene Arwu was electrifying transportation, then by Arlene Arlu, Musk's ambitions had stripped away all pretense. He was no longer content with merely dominating roads. His true ultimate vision for Tesla is to force the omnipotent artificial intelligence brain from the cloud into our 3-gen dimensional world on an unprecedented and terrifying scale through a manufacturing process that upends a century of industrial history and a steel body. To take this step, Tesla wielded a brutal knife internally, doing something that shocked the entire automotive industry. In January Arling Arleo Musk dropped a bombshell. By the end of the second quarter, June Senchi Tesla would permanently cease production of its iconic luxury models, Model S and Model X. These two vehicles were instrumental in laying the foundation of Tesla's high-gen end empire. Cutting them off now is not due to declining sales, rather than declining sales. Inside the Fremont factory in California, those once gen-esteemed assembly lines that symbolize the pinnacle of human electric vehicle manufacturing will be brutally and comprehensively dismantled. What is this enormous space for? The answer lies in a new super-gen production line capable of churning out 1 million Optimus humanoid robots annually. Musk makes no secret of his audacity. He candidly states that smashing the production line for a eBay Meiyuan, lean luxury sports car to forge a humanoid robot assembly line signifies an irreversible shift in Tesla's internal resource allocation. In Musk's eyes, the Optimus robot, designed to replace humans in monotonous and dangerous tasks, will account for by Funjabasha of Tesla's total value. With the imminent launch of Optimus Skin equipped with N-Gen to Gen-N dexterous control capabilities, by March Arlene Arlu, a trillion-gen-dollar labor market poised to redefine global productivity is being forcibly opened up. But this is not all. In reshaping human transportation methods with its autonomous taxi Cybercab, Tesla is also undermining the absolute authority of the assembly line established by Henry Ford over a century ago. To support the mass production plan for Cybercab by May Arlene Arlu and to drastically compress the per-gen unit cost within Arsha Meiyuan Lean Tend, Tesla has unveiled the unboxed disassembly manufacturing process, dubbed the nuclear weapon of manufacturing. Forget the image of cars slowly crawling along a long assembly line. In unbox mode, the car is no longer an indestructible whole, it is brutally deconstructed into massive modules, front ends, rear ends, chassis, side panels that are independently assembled with seats and interiors in different corners of the factory, like parallel universes, until they are instantly merged by large automated equipment at the final moment. Underpinning this magic is a highly advanced monocoque pressing technology that's evolved to an unnerving level. When it comes to the rear chassis of Cybercab, Tesla's engineers made an extremely aggressive decision in pursuit of maximum efficiency. They eliminated the internal flat fender parts entirely and replaced them with ultra-gen thin stamped components, forcefully compressing the weight of this behemoth below 6 kilograms. This extreme slimming not only eliminates complex molds and side sliders, but also significantly boosts logistics efficiency. Each compact storage rack now tightly accommodates 10 chassis columns, doubling transport capacity. Even more disruptive is Cybercab's rejection of traditional paint processes, doing away with the large and highly energy-consuming painting shop, resulting in a bifungisisha reduction in overall factory footprint. Ultimately, Cybercab's white body component count has been reduced by an entire bifungilusha, surpassing even Model Y, once the epitome of efficiency. Within this industrial behemoth, characterized by extreme compression and high automation, the production cycle for a cybercap has been reduced to an astounding 10 seconds or less. Through this radical hardware cost-gen reduction principle that defies conventional wisdom, Tesla is securing an overwhelming reset cost advantage for its future robotaxi network, one that traditional competitors can only envy. The physical world is being reshaped by this digital giant with the precision of metal and computational power, sounding like a perfect vision, right? However, as this trillion-yen-dollar machine accelerates towards full throttle, a lethal black swan has silently descended over the Texas factory. Musk's computational magic was nearly shattered by an insignificant barrier. All the grand narratives and technological marvels we have discussed rest on a chillingly fragile foundation. Consider this: when a company's valuation is completely detached from traditional automotive manufacturing and anchored at nearly Senbai times earnings, it becomes a tightrope walker teetering on the edge of an abyss. Any slight crack in the perfect story about artificial intelligence, gen-driven fully autonomous robotaxis, can immediately trigger a devastating market collapse. For Tesla in early Arlene, the biggest black swan is not found in financial reports, but hangs like a sword of Damocles over the Texas Gigafactory. This ominous warning sign was most recently signaled on March 20th. Federal regulators at the NHTSA have launched an unprecedented investigation into Tesla's FSD system, targeting a series of fatal traffic violations, such as running red lights, illegal lane changes, and even driving against traffic. The scope of this investigation covers an astounding Baba Uni Lion Tesla vehicles equipped with FSD. On March 20th, as the final ultimatum, Tesla was forced to hand over the underlying collision core data. Now, these codes and logs that determine the fate of a trillion-yen-dollar empire lie on federal investigators' desks, being meticulously disassembled. However, history is often fraught with cruel irony. Exactly hours before this grand examination, on March 20th, an eerie dashboard camera video exploded across major social media platforms. Near Soyown in Los Angeles, a Model Sen fully controlled by FSD slammed into the lowered railway crossing barrier without any sign of deceleration, like a blinded beast. Only in the last second did the terrified driver stomp on the brakes, but it was too late. This is not an isolated system glitch. Following a deep investigation by news organizations, a stark reality came to light. There have been over reports of similar severe recognition failures involving FSD at railway crossings. This incident, timed with deadly precision, has shattered Musk's overly confident myth of pure vision, Zen-based autonomous driving, and exposed the harsh truth that when faced with slender physical obstacles as tall as the front cameras, this highly touted AI brain harbors fatal visual blind spots. In the face of this collapse in trust, Tesla has attempted a desperate defense with massive computational data, claiming that their vehicles experience only one significant collision every Wuden Sen Yunli Lion miles driven on average. This stands in stark contrast to the national vehicle average of just Liu Ni Sen Yunli less. However, safety experts swiftly and mercilessly tore apart this argument, pointing out that it is nothing more than a statistical sleight of hand. The full self-gen driving FSD system primarily operates on well-gen marked highways under clear weather conditions. While the meager national average includes collisions involving drunk teenagers speeding, slippery roads during storms, and even old vehicles without any active safety features. What sends shivers down investors' spines is that Tesla's fully autonomous robotaxi fleet in Austin has had an accident rate 3 times worse than human drivers since its rollout in June. This turns the data submission on March from a routine compliance process into a major test for Tesla's future. The company now sits like a ticking time bomb, and Wall Street is gripped by a suffocating silence. Though the report has been submitted, the NHTSA's investigation has only just begun. Tesla still faces those 2 fateful forks in the road. If the final review can demonstrate that system flaws are being rapidly addressed, Tesla will secure a pass to the Temple of Excellence. However, if regulatory bodies uncover systemic failures within the massive data set that cannot be mitigated through remote updates, Tesla could face stringent mandatory safety recalls, daily fines amounting to tens of thousands of dollars, and even forced installation of costly radar systems. Once this avenue is blocked, the SARS speculative bubble underpinning Tesla's nearly 70 times adaptation rate will burst instantly, leading to a devastating collapse in its stock valuation. As we look towards the spring of Arlin, the Tesla teetering on the brink of judgment is no longer just another commercial automaker. It has transformed into a massive technological entity undergoing radical metamorphosis and attempting to rewrite the rules that govern human existence. From a bankrupt metal workshop in Liaoninba to $1 trillion bets staked on artificial intelligence and humanoid robots, by Arlin, each of Tesla's transformations has been steeped in blood and extreme audacity. The ultimate secret behind its profitability is not merely assembling metals at lower costs, but rather the ambition to take complete control over our chaotic physical world with cold code. Observe Megapack is regulating the heartbeat of global power grids. Autobeta is harvesting energy tides within milliseconds. The millions of Tesla vehicles on the road have become mobile tentacles for voraciously collecting human behavioral data. Inside the Cortex supercomputer, 10,000 roaring graphics cards are giving birth to a steel spectre that aims to replace human physical labor. But this is precisely the awe-inspiring paradox in the grand narrative, when code attempts to take over the laws of physics, and when absolutely rational algorithms collide with our highly unpredictable yet fragile society, there will always be something beyond computational reach. It could be as simple as a slender barrier across a railway crossing, or a torrential downpour during an extreme heat wave, or it might just be humanity's ultimate fear of losing control over the steering wheel. Tesla's market value is firmly grounded at the forefront of this struggle between exploring life and returning to its essence. He is like Prometheus running with a torch, desperately trying to illuminate the promised land of artificial intelligence. Yet, any misstep could instantly consume him along with that capital myth, which has been overextended in its promise to ignite a new world. The myth of capital continues, and we are all witnesses to this war between exploration and return.